All right, how's it going? We're starting a live stream right now. Actually, I need to plug my phone in. I feel like I forget this every time to like grab my phone and have it near me so I can view the comments. That's pretty typical of me, it seems like. So, as I said in my snowfall forecast that I put out earlier in my video, I was going to be doing a live stream. We're going to be looking at the model run here, the whole 0Z model run. And basically, I used to do live streams like this a lot when I only had like 200 subscribers. So more likely than not, none of you actually have even seen that any of those live streams or anything like that. But it's kind of it's a different style of live stream because I'm actually going to be with you guys as we watch the model run come out. And if you didn't know, a lot of weather enthusiasts actually literally sit here and let the model run come out. And they sit and they wait. They don't wait until the whole thing's out. You can see that it's only out the 24 hours here on the NAMM. So we literally will sit and wait. So if you want to take part in that, that's what this is. There will be a lot of discussion in between, and I still will answer questions, but we're going to really try to just pay attention to the model run. So yeah, if you're a new viewer, I welcome you to feel free to subscribe to my channel if you do like weather-related content. Also, I welcome you to ask any questions and stick around for the entire live stream if you'd like, if you have the time. This one might actually go pretty late. I know the last live stream I did went until 12 this month. This might be another one of those days. So just be warned. All right. Javen Chase is here. Good to see you, man. Aquatic Toast. Hey, Jalen TM. What's up, bro? Christopher, can't say your last name still. What's up? Mihi of You is here. Good to see you, man. Hi, what do I think? Richmond, Virginia will get this winter a lot of snow. Cold and snowy. GFS shows Ridge will set up in the East Coast early November. Is that possible? Very possible, actually. I'm leaning towards ridging in the East for at least the first week of November as of right now. I might need to make a video on that in the coming days, maybe even tomorrow. I'll talk about that. The models haven't been too consistent on that idea, so I need to hold off. I know the Euro doesn't show that. That's what's really been making me not want to put that video out yet. Hey guys, listening in, and you nailed the forecast in Middle Georgia. WT, way to go! I think that's what that stands for. Yeah. Yeah, which forecast, though? I'd like to know, just because I'd like to look back at my forecast and see what I did right so that I can, obviously do the same things again. So I would really appreciate more information on that. But thanks for letting me know. I do appreciate the feedback. I wanted to talk a little bit about forecast reviewing in this video, actually. Yeah, I do think Baltimore, Maryland is going to get a lot of snow this winter. One thing I will ask you guys is I don't want to make this video entirely about answering winter forecast questions because I know that you guys typically do. But Birmingham, Alabama, I think we'll have above average snowfall, or at least above average chance at snowfall. I said, when is the heat going to stop? And you said start next week. Oh, yeah, yeah. I was forecasting for the cold to enter the east in the middle portion of October. I've been forecasting that since early September. If you look back at my fall forecast, you would see that. And then really in my September forecast or my October forecast, they still had the same idea. And then I came out with more videos on that. So I was really feeling very strongly about that one. Does Shenandoah Valley will get some snow from next weekend's nor'easters? It's doubtful. I know that model run has been floating around, but I really don't think so at this point. I think that this will be a high if that is a snowstorm, because it could not be at this point. It could go either way. We're pretty far out. I think it would be a high elevation storm. That's what I'm feeling for that one. So. On hurricane to hit Mexico. Yeah, it's going to be really bad, and that's actually what's going to become the nor'easter. Fun fact, if you didn't know that already. It's going to go all the way over Mexico into the Gulf, and then through the Gulf to Florida, and then up the East Coast. Very interesting stuff. Very Yeah, very interesting. Thanks, you're my new weatherman. Thank you. What state do you live in? I live in Virginia. Christopher, that's okay. Stay as long as you can, or as long as you want to. We're going to take a look first before we get into the models, because the models are going to take quite a while to come out. Hurricane Tracker made another winter forecast today. Has it changed any? Let me know as I'm searching this up. I wanted to look at something here, as I have my files down here now, just to make things easier. So I wanted to take a look here at the Sunspot. Now, you'll notice, actually, I just clicked on the wrong one because I had to screenshot it because I hate when it's that type of file where it opens the web page. Okay, so you might have seen this image floating around. Of the sunspot activity, and you see that it's 0. And I've seen a lot of people overhyping this for months and months now. Just like, oh my gosh, the sun has no sunspots. This is unheard of. What the heck's happening? Like, this is why this is happening. This is craziness. And they're freaking out, trying to hype people up, trying to scare people. And then we see our next image here that looks the same. Also, in the comments, let me know if you've seen anything like what I just said, because I know a lot of people have probably, and a lot of people believed it. So this next image looks the same. If it wasn't more low res, you would think that it's the same one. This is 2009. This next one. So 2009, and this is right now. So if anybody tells you that the sunspot activity right now is unheard of, it's just not true. It's just not true. And they're trying to lie to you. Now, we did see some quite peculiar, rather interesting weather. I mean, in 2009, it was an interesting weather year. Yes, but people try to associate the sunspot activity with everything, like, oh shoot, this volcano went off, must be sunspot. Like, blame it on everything. And it's just not factual and not proven. So it's really not, it's risky to put it out there and say that it's causing all this stuff when there's really no backing of that. And especially if they say something like, oh, the sunspot is crazy, this is something that's never happened before, then you know that they're trying to hype it up. So just a warning there. I don't want my viewers to be scared into believing all that sort of mumbo jumbo. I want to keep factual content here. So I wanted you guys to know that I do not agree with any of that information. And I don't think you should either, but you should certainly do your own research and find out for yourself what you believe. What does the sunspot affect? Well, some people would say everything, and I say that it kind of affects a lot to do with our climate more than anything in, like, I guess on a smaller scale than that. So I think it can affect seasons overall, or even months. But I don't buy into it affecting all this, mesoscale type stuff. Okay, let's look at the NAMM real quick as it's coming out. So I want to take a look here. 18Z. Okay, so there's our low transitions. Okay. Looking pretty similar. A lot of snow for the White Mountains here. Okay, so we're a lot more west here on this run for the NAMM, it looks like so far. Maybe not. Hard to say. A little bit more west. As I take a sip of my almond milk. I love almond milk so much. Let's see. So we're going to take a look at vorticity, and this really tells the whole story. Over the years, I've kind of just grown eyes to be able to see and take information from this type of imagery. So obviously it's probably just a bunch of colors on the screen to you guys, but But yeah, okay. As we're going to continue to get this information out. Right around 10, we're going to start getting the R gem coming out. Though the 12's the R gem. This is my favorite model, by the way, guys. All-time favorite model. As I'm going to read the comments, sorry. Every time I look at the comments, I get so quiet. It's my fault. Yeah, so it probably looks really confusing. But I tend to try to look at this type of stuff more, this imagery, because obviously you guys know what this is, all this stuff. So I try to look at these more than that, but I really need to look at that sometimes to get more information on the positioning of everything. But so we have our low pressure system here. The RGEM is really good with snowstorms. This model, this is actually, if you've heard of the Canadian model, this is the short range model that kind of associates with that. But this model is extremely good at snowfall forecasting, and in my experience, it is ultimately the best. If you pair it with the European model, you're going to get pretty accurate information from those two. So unfortunately, in this stream, we're not going to be able to go over the European model because that comes out at 2 a.m. So hope you guys understand why I won't be doing that. Yeah, Pete, we're talking mostly about the storm for the 24th through 25th, not the nor'easter yet. We'll be talking about the nor'easter once the storm's wrapped up. In the coming days, I'll start making forecasts for the nor'easter as we're getting in an active pattern here for the east. Partially due to the negative NAO. The NAO is about to dip really far down, which usually causes a storm in the eastern United States. And sure enough, we're seeing signals for such a thing. Even though the high was 82 in Miami today, it felt fairly chilly and not hot at all. Well, for Miami, I'm sure. All right. Well, anyway, if you're a new viewer and you've never seen my channel before, I invite you to go ahead and leave a comment asking any weather-related questions or any weather-related statements. I'd be sure to answer those. Also, feel free to subscribe if you do like weather-type live streams and forecasts. Take a look at my channel. You might enjoy what you see. Sea surface temperature here. We'll take a quick glance, though I just want to touch on this. Let's see. We'll look at the 7-day change since we've just taken a look the other day. So it looks like the PDO is getting better still. The Atlantic is getting a lot better. A lot better there. To be expected with the cold in the east. And then also El Nino is getting a lot better. So Greenland, I can't complain about Greenland right now. So, but yeah, El Nino looks exactly how we want it to look at this point. If another Kelvin wave comes, it's going to be pretty strong El Nino, actually. Maybe approaching moderate if we get one more Kelvin wave, so believe it or not. So Maryland won't be getting anything, not from this storm that we're talking about in this video, no. Okay, let me ask you, do you agree with my 34-38 for Miami Valley in Ohio? I don't know what you're asking. What do you think of the earthquake in Western Canada and yet another hurricane near Mexico? Look, the hurricane, that's crazy, but as far as earthquakes go, I'm just a weather guy. Kind of El Nino, Mordecai or normal? Well, right now, it really looks like Mordecai right now, but I think it'll make a comeback a little bit. So yeah, it'll probably be a basin-wide El Nino, which is fine. Oh, I can't really say exact amounts, Randy. So unfortunately not. Okay, let's go back to the model here. I'm gonna look how many viewers we got. 81, not bad, not bad. This is to be expected with this type of video. This one's a little bit less, doesn't catch the eye as much. So I understand why there's not quite as many viewers as typical. It really just depends what you name the stream, to be honest. And you can usually keep recurring viewers coming in, or new viewers coming into the stream. Like like last stream, I had 200 viewers a lot of the time. So, but these ones are going to be a lot more in depth, I think. So if you're a little bit more into the technical side of weather, you might really enjoy this one. Do you do severe weather forecasts? Sometimes. What impacts does a basin-wide El Nino have compared to a normal? Well, usually it'll lead to colder winters than a normal El Nino, but there's not much evidence of anything else. Just usually an east-based El Nino, which is a normal El Nino, really does lead to sometimes warmer conditions across the United States, but it's quite the opposite of that this year. I'm located in Virginia. So our NAMM model is coming out. I want to see how this compares. Yeah, so we got quite a bit further south here. Yeah, I don't really see this solution playing out. We need to keep an eye on the NAMM because sometimes it just randomly does good, but not very consistent. Not very consistently good, that is. This is pretty close down there to the coast, so I'm not really agreeing with this. I don't think this is the solution. I think the bullseye will be much higher up in Maine, but we're going to have to take a look and see what the other models show. This run is really crucial, actually. Yes, 2014 to 2015 is still my top analog. I've added analogs 2002 to 2003. This is breaking news. And 1977 to 78. Those are the two analogs that I'm adding. Will mass be like 14 to 15? It'll be like a watered down version of that. That was record breaking, so that probably won't be happening again. But I think that it'll be really snowy comparatively to normal. Madeline, I live in southeastern Connecticut. Will this area be hit as bad as others? For this storm, if that's what you're asking, no, you're going to be looking at rain for the most part. And that's about it for this one. So we dodged bullet there. If you're asking about winter, it's also kind of the same answer. But you know, hey, what's up, Weatherwise? Yeah, I left a comment, Weatherwise. I wanted to let you know because I loved your name, and I was wondering, I was like, how's that name not taken yet? Because I know when I came up with the name Direct Weather, I had a few options that I liked more than Direct Weather beforehand, and I searched them up, and they already were taking. So I was like, Weatherwise, it's really good. I wonder why that wasn't taken. I noticed that there was already like apps and stuff called Weatherwise, and I left a comment on your video because I didn't want you to have to deal with like I didn't want you to have to deal with like, you know, legal trouble if it came to that. I don't know. I was just looking out for you, so I didn't know like if you knew that already or not. But there's a pretty popular app called Weatherwise, so I just wanted to warn you about that. But if you're nonprofit, you should probably be fine. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to warn you about that. But I love the name. I can see why you picked it. Yeah, I know he's David. Because I was looking for your I was looking for your winter forecast, David, and because you said you were gonna make one, so I searched up your channel and then I saw that you made a new name, so that's how I found out. But probably you won't make one till you get your computer back. Huh? That makes sense. That's what I assumed actually. With more rain this summer, will that translate to more snow in Frostburg, Maryland this winter? There's really no correlation there unless you keep the same like sea surface temperatures, which we aren't. So there's really it doesn't matter. Do do you this as a hobby or are you an independent meteorologist? No, I'm not a meteorologist. It's a little bit more than a hobby for me, but I'm not college educated in meteorology. That's what I mean by I'm not a meteorologist. But I take this pretty seriously, and I've done a lot of research. I've been in the weather for about 8 years now, and yeah, I'm a pretty huge weather fanatic, and I've gotten really good at forecasting. I think, not to sound arrogant or anything, but I've created a formula that seems to work really as well as snowfall forecasts. I also wanted to take a look at one thing. I hope, yeah, sweet. David, you heard what I said about your name, right? Because I'm kind of worried about that for you, man. Can you please comment on Snowstorm in New England, especially Connecticut? Connecticut will not be getting snow for this snowstorm, so you dodged a bullet there, probably. I wanted to show you guys one thing because this kind of goes on behind the scenes. The forecast verification. This is kind of where I take a look back and see how my forecast did. A lot of people forecast and then they don't even look back. They just put it behind them. I actually happen to keep track of all of my forecasts, especially snowfall and seasonal forecasts. So here's a forecast I put out August 27th. And you can see here was snowfall. So um, you see I got high amounts here. So did pretty well. I gave that one an A plus. In another, or I gave that one a B. In another video, I might actually go over those, but uh, my formula tends to do pretty well with snowfall forecasting. So just because, who was he? Since Rennet Lewis was asking if I was a meteorologist or not, I wanted to show that because some people are like, "Oh, it's just a hobby, so you must not be accurate or whatever." So what weather channel name should I pick then that's best? Hey man, I don't know. You got to figure that out. But definitely before you like commit to it, search it up on Google and just make sure there's like nothing. Like for me, there's a company called Weather Direct, but I'm direct weather, so I've kind of dodged a bullet. And I definitely want to find a way to legally own the name so nobody else can take it because I really like direct weather. But definitely, you got the right idea with the name. Okay, I do keep track on my forecasts. That's good. The thing about like Weather 101, like Weather Tracker, man, like I find like what looks the cleanest to me and easiest to identify is just like one word with weather. Yeah, like direct weather. like what came to mind when I made my name was like AccuWeather. It's just like one word, or not even a word, but just like you get the point. Like one word with weather in it. It's just really clean. Like Weather Channel rolls off the tongue. You start putting a ton of words in there, like Weather Tracker Man, like people aren't going to be as likely to remember it. That's the only problem. As we're going to continue to watch this model run come out. Let me refresh. It looks like, okay. By the way, Direct Weather, I think Hurricane and Winter Tracker saw your live stream and he fixed his winter forecast. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. I didn't want, because like now if I do that, like where I basically uh, say what I would have done, and now everybody else's forecasts are going to be just like mine, because I'm just like, I'm like, this is what I would have done with the information that I have. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, we'll check that out in between runs when we're having like a slow time. Yeah, Twisted RBLX. Yeah, that's what's happening right now. So uh, if we get another Kelvin wave, it's gonna really make a comeback. But for right now, the more that the trade winds push it west, the better. Well, the only reason it sucks, it depends how much it looks like mine. Like if it's exactly my forecast, then it's gonna be like, you know, uh, I want people to have their own opinion. Basically, like I don't know. It's more fun when people have a bunch of different opinions and then you can see who's right. But definitely, if it's not the same as mine, then it's okay. That's good. Yeah, random craft. I guess I didn't really like say what I would have done. I was like, this should be more well rounded. That's more realistic, and quite frankly, it is. So flattered that he respects my opinion, if that's actually factual. That he saw the live stream. Yeah, so we're gonna see heavy snow according to the NAMM here, right about here. Pretty close to the coast. Could have some mixing. We need to look at the upper air. So you see past this red line over here, this is rain for sure. Bar Harbor northeastward. And then we look here, so it's certainly cold enough on that layer. So looking like, mm, you know, pretty much snow for most of these areas actually too, it looks like. Do you think the blob will continue to persist into the winter season? Yes, I do. Hey, I am Vessel. What's going on, man? Yeah, Storm 101. I'm gonna take a look. If you looked at my forecast, you'd see that I did show the euro, and the euro actually became more aggressive with it during the 12Z. So for me, I am a Met. Been for 17 years. I do winter storms. Have a couple of friends in Oklahoma. I go tornado chasing with in the spring and summer. Head to Tampa and work with the NWS there for hurricanes. Wow, man, that's crazy. Well, I'm glad. I appreciate the fact that you're in the stream. Then it means a lot, considering you're a real meteorologist. I'm really flattered. Random crap. It might just be chance, though. Who knows? Empire News. I've never heard of them. So GFS is about to start coming out. Let's see, is the RGEM? So RGEM isn't coming out yet. RGEM might come out after the. Wow. So the NAMM looks to want to do that kind of wraparound thing that the GFS was wanting to do a while back. And here's that Vermont snow that I was talking about. A lot of people from Vermont were like attacking me. It was crazy. You know, like people were going wild and crazy in Vermont, like, you know, cursing at me, calling me names. I don't know what the problem is. I forecasted that they could see some moderate snow at times in northern Vermont. And I think I had 2 people from Vermont basically just like attack me. So we'll see who's right. It's very strange. Some people got really triggered. I'm Vessel. No, I don't think there's any manipulation going on with the weather at all. Weather-wise, Weather Direct, I got to add you as a manager or an owner of my channel because me and you both share the same thing in common. I don't know, man. I have my hands full with this channel. I'm trying to pump out stuff, trying to do daily videos and live streams and everything. I don't know if I'd have the time. I appreciate the offer, though, man, for real. Um, yeah, I know, but sometimes I don't know if they're actually asking like serious questions. Like they'll be like, uh, the ones that I'll like reply to for real, unless I'm just trying to like I pinned one today and replied to it just because I wanted people to see what I deal with. But most of the time it'll be like, oh well, the Weather Channel isn't saying that, so how can you forecast that? Um, but yeah. Javen Chase, who are you talking to? We will. Looks like the GFS is going to come out. GFS comes right around 10:30. No, we'll have to wait. Yeah, people will be like, "Oh, well, why aren't my local meteorologists saying that? Why isn't the Weather Channel saying that?" And it's just really annoying. And I basically have like, especially on the winter forecast, people be like, "Well, the Weather Channel is calling for warm in the north, so why are you saying otherwise? Like, why should I believe you?" And then I have to say something like, "Well, they've never actually gotten a winter forecast right ever, so that's probably one reason, one good reason." Yeah, yeah. It used to be 10:30 back in the day. I don't send emojis because people on their computer can't really see them. Otherwise, I would. And I don't like to delete comments either because I don't want to like suppress, you know. But I wanted to show one thing. The Weather Channel has yet to even make anything about this storm, and we're 2 days away. So, because people were mentioning that, like I said, like, oh, there's the Weather Channel hasn't said anything, so there's not going to be a snowstorm. Just you wait. Just you wait. Yeah, hurricanes are dangerous, man. They're always just trying to get views. But then with some things, they're really conservative when they're not confident, I feel like with this snowstorm coming up, they haven't said anything about it. And they will likely follow suit and eventually fold to the scenario that I see happening. Uh, and yeah, what I mostly want this channel to be is, yeah, I'm a hobbyist and yeah, I'm a weather enthusiast, not a meteorologist, but my forecast will therefore be a lot more aggressive. And I'm not afraid if there's only, I'm not gonna wait to tell the information. I'm gonna keep it truthful. And I think that that could be a great opportunity or a great alternative for a lot of people because you know, I have really nothing to lose except that I want to be accurate. And I think that's a really good setup. Yeah, there's pretty much for sure a snowstorm going to happen here in Maine at this point with two. Yeah, that's a good point, Bobby. Yeah, the Weather Channel will most likely mention this storm as I can see it now, the headlines, surprise snowstorm. They'll say it tomorrow probably, uh, sometime in the afternoon. They'll most likely be like, surprise snowstorm for Maine. This came out of nowhere. We didn't know it was going to happen when I've been seeing the signals for a possible snowstorm for 2 days now. Yeah, I had somebody from Canada actually comment today, basically saying, and if you've seen my maps before, you know I don't cover Canada, so that's the funny part. But they're basically saying, "Oh, your forecast's wrong because I'm not forecasted to get snow." TWC is equal to the CMC model. Hey, man, the CMC was good last year. I don't think the Weather Channel was. Yeah, I don't watch their channel, but for sure on their website, there's nothing. And then for Caribou, they're calling for. Hold on. For Caribou, they're calling for, as of right now, Wednesday rain/snow. If I expand this real quick, they might have updated it already, but I know earlier today, I'm trying to get this to expand so I can just see the information here. Guys, they know I'm streaming. Okay, yeah. Snow 1 to 3 inches. And earlier it said up to 1 inch, so they've upgraded it to 1 to 3 inches. I just think they're downplaying it a lot. And last minute, they're going to kind of. They're gonna have their winter analysis guy on the Weather Channel state obvious info about the storm tomorrow, like it's big news. Somebody had a question about the warm blob. So if somehow that blob continues to stay above average, what would that mean for the United States? Because the last one we had occurred in 2013 and lasted until 2015. Well, first off, you say if somehow the blob continues to stay above average, when typically it does actually stay for at least a year in increments like that. So it would probably last through next winter as well. We're gonna have above average PDO most likely, though it's hard to say how long, but usually over a year. Is that snowstorm then moving to Europe? I do not know. But yeah. Yeah, no sign of the GFS coming out anytime soon. I think the RGEM comes out after. So we're going to wait until 11 when the GFS starts coming out. Like I said, this might end up being a 12 a.m. stream again. So keep that in mind. Is there any chance of Mordecai now because waters aren't really warming? Yeah, well, the waters are already kind of in place for a kind of basin-wide Mordecai El Nino. Typically, you would want kind of everything in this area to be below average temperatures, but instead we have this warm pool right here. You really want your warmest temperatures to kind of be in this area in a Mordecai El Nino. So we kind of have this basin-wide thing going on, but we do have going for us is these really cold waters right about here. Yeah. So it looks pretty good. It's not going to be an east-based El Nino. That's the good news. Anything but an east-based El Nino is pretty much good news. So it doesn't really matter if it's a Mordecai or a basin-wide, as long as it's not strong. Guys, let's not talk about global warming, please. Because that is definitely a 50-50 argument that will make people fight. So we're talking about a snowstorm here, guys. Yeah, we really could see a moderate El Nino. It just depends if we get a Kelvin wave or not at this point, which is possible. So it could go either way. Hello from New Mexico. Hey, what's going on, Joel? All right. All righty. Keep that open because I know I will need to draw on the map at some point. And all I'm saying is the Weather Channel isn't entirely on board right as of right now, and I expect that they will fold to a forecast similar to mine pretty soon. Somebody said their GFS updated to 0Z. Are you sure about that? Pat Tintner just subscribed a week or so ago. You have such an easy voice to listen to, learning more each day. Thanks. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, thanks for subscribing. So, yeah. Noah is on board, though. I did want to mention that. Noah's completely on board for snow with this event. So that's Tuesday. But looking at Tuesday night, we see the heavy snow move into these areas. Again, remember Caribou? Well, Noah has a lot more forecasted snowfall for them. Already 2.3 inches there. It's upward of 5 inches plus for the bullseye area, according to them. And then Caribou going to come out of this one with, well over the 3 inches most likely, as the moderate to heavy snow sticks around till around 8 p.m. Wednesday night. So 11 p.m. Tuesday night to 8 p.m. The next night. Yeah, Euro is better, but is the GFS the most accurate model or the Euro? Yeah, for sure the Euro, but the Euro comes out at 2 a.m., so we're looking at the other ones. Random Craft, is it normal for Maine to see snow this time of year? It happens every once in a while. It's not too crazy. So the answer is no, it's not too crazy, but what is Wisconsin weather? Let's see here. As I pan over to Wisconsin. Yeah, you look to stay away from the snow and cold at least till November. Beyond that, can't really give you too much information. Yeah, it's really going to depend how well and how long this storm stays out to sea. See, if the low pressure system, like the Euro says, exits and enters the ocean closer to Boston and then goes up, we get a lot more intensification that way with the warmer waters. So it's really going to depend on a lot of things. Also, just how strong it can be while it's still up here in Canada. Do I think NYC can get snow this November? Anything's possible, but I really doubt it. No, because I actually don't own a subscription to a website that offers the 45-day snow map from the European. Somebody had put that in a Facebook group, and I wanted to share it on my Twitter, so I can't really. It was on my phone, so no, I don't have access to that as of right now to show the stream, unfortunately. But we're still waiting for the GFS. I swear this thing used to come out at 10:30 in the winter. I doubt snow for New York City for next month. Bobby. Let me turn my AC unit off real quick. It is really hot in here though, but I have the windows open, so it should be fine. Can you show 2-meter temp anomaly model for next few days? Are you talking for New England or where at? Yeah, but it's like it's in a Facebook group that's really active, and I saved it on my phone, so I wouldn't be able to find it again. I'm from Virginia. Oh, okay. For the U.S. in general. So the next couple days, really cold in the east. Continuing to get colder. So yeah, I don't really know what to add else on that. And then November, to start November, we get a warm up in the east and a cool down in the west. No, I don't think there will be snow in Connecticut. I said I'm from Chicago in a video. Bobby, I never said I'm from Chicago. Yeah, the CFS updates too much, so you get a lot of like different reports month to month, but is there going to be snow in Wisconsin soon? It's always possible this time of year for you guys. I live in Virginia, guys. I'm just saying. Come on, Bobby. You know I didn't say I live in Chicago. Okay. Pull up on your phone. I don't know what you're viewing on your computer or your phone, but whichever one you aren't using, go pull up the video and tell me which video I said I'm from Chicago, and I will watch it and I'll eat my words if I said it. I swear to you. So yeah, Wisconsin. Well, it looks like you're gonna stay away from the snowfall for now. Fortunately, at least till November 1st. New England, on the other hand, yeah, getting slammed. This is the 18Z GFS. See that bullseye of 12? They keep wanting to put right around the 10 to 12-inch area. We usually discredit these little blobs. It's just not accurate enough to be able to forecast that. But what I take from this is 6 to 8, pretty widespread, pretty consistently. Yeah, Oregon mountains and basically the Pacific Northwest is about to get really active. I made a video on that. So yeah, don't believe this map, Bobby. Like what Bobby said, don't believe the nor'easter map quite yet. Takes a lot more than just the snowfall map because that's going to change quite a bit for that one. But 84 hours out, or even less, I think. 54 hours out, definitely really, really accurate at this point. This is like as accurate as the GFS can get is right around this time frame. So do you think the upper part of Michigan could become its own state, the one touching Wisconsin, I mean? I've always wondered about that. I feel like that'd be really interesting. I think that'd be cool. I don't know not a lot on the topic, but yeah, random craft. Just remind me before I end the stream again. Yeah, Joel Stanley, Bobby. It seems like he trolls sometimes, but he actually uh, adds a lot to the conversation sometimes. So even though it seems like he's trolling, like he's actually. I mean, the only thing is the Chicago thing. Like that's just not true. But everything else is quite factual. The GFS long range snowfall definitely not to be trusted. Definitely sus. Yeah, I'll check since we're waiting for the GFS. I'll watch the video you want me to watch right now. Okay. What's his name again? Hurricane and Winter Tracker. Oh, yeah. Here we go. I'll put headphones in so you guys don't hear, but I do. So. If you guys have anything you want to ask, come on, Bobby. Come on, man. Kind of early for a final winter forecast, don't you think? You could like wait a month because a lot can change. What will the weather be like on Halloween? I'm still gonna make a Halloween forecast. I just gonna wait till tomorrow, I think. This stream's kind of special. The last one was weird, but this one is a model run live stream, so it has to be at this hour around. So that's why. Um, uh, no, I don't think the Tennessee will endure early snow. I think it'll be an average start to winter this year. December might not be as below average as the other months this winter. Wait. Okay, I think I see. Yeah, I know Bandicam. The thing was golden back in the day. Bobby, it's not me that has to prove myself. It's you that has to prove yourself. You're the one who said you're a meteorologist. So why don't you make a YouTube channel and tell me all about weather? Tell me all about the sea surface temperatures and make your own winter forecast. That's a good idea. Oh yeah, OBS. I used to use that all the time. Wow. Yeah, we touched on MBGC's forecast. Did I agree with it? Does anybody remember if I agreed with his or not? I can't remember. Um, yeah, I can see how this really looks like my winter forecast a little bit. So I can see what you mean. I think in a lot of ways, like this one looks a lot like that other guy's. I forget his name. What was the one? Um, what was his name? The one guy that also gets like a ton of views on his winter forecast. I'm trying to remember his name. You guys probably know who I'm talking about. Um, what's he called? I keep forgetting. All right. Anyway, it looks like more like his than mine, I think. So I don't know his name, but like I'm talking about his channel name. Yeah, Weather Decoded. Yeah, his. This looks a lot like his to me. Weather Decoded, like his forecasts, like be careful, Mihi, of you. I think he watches our videos, so don't want anybody to get like offended or anything. But because like people can't help that, you know what I mean? Yeah, Tyler. Oh, Tyler Sutok. Yeah, I've known him for years and years and years. Yeah, Bobby actually spelt it right, but I've actually talked to him. A lot of these people I know behind the scenes from Facebook groups and stuff. So, but Weather Decoded, I've never heard of him. He kind of popped up out of nowhere. The only reason I get sussed out about Weather Decoded's forecast is because if you look at uh as like I think this forecast is really good. Uh and he uploads a lot of winter forecast videos, like any excuse to upload a winter forecast to get views, which I don't really blame him for because you get a ton of views that way. So I mean, to each their own. I quite frankly just I'm not I don't want views that bad, but he seems to only post winter forecast and some other types of uh, winter videos, winter related videos. But his forecast for 2016 to 2017 was, as you can see, below average in the East. Uh, so that wasn't the case. So it looks pretty similar to the typical winter forecast. And then also, again, 2017 to 2018, you'll notice, again, same type of thing. But again, also, this isn't how it turned out. So I think I'm really gonna just have to see how he does this year. If he fails the winter forecast for a third time, then I don't know what to say. He knows his stuff though when he does the analysis, but he definitely calls for something pretty similar every year. In back-to-back years, this didn't happen. Let's see. Okay, so Tony VDGG. It's a lot of things. Yeah, he explains things really well. So if he gets this forecast right, it'll definitely redeem it. Uh, if he gets the forecast right this year, I wish that more YouTubers like him would actually like upload more than just winter forecasts and stuff. You know, I know I'm one to talk because I just started in September, but I obviously plan on uploading pretty much about everything to do with weather. Master Chief, I'm kind of 50-50 right now. But for early November, it looks like it is going to be above average temperatures. So Zero Z should be coming out. No, still not coming out. It's already 11. But yeah, my winter forecast like formula, it's it's a lot of things. QBO, PDO, El Nino, AMO, Greenland blocking, what the AO looks like it's going to be. A lot of things go into it. The type of El Nino. Wow, Tony, that's insane. Yeah, we're gonna have to see. That's kind of what people always think every year. But definitely, yeah, I was seeing it. It does look central, like a central trough. I want to see if that is because. Well, I'll try to find a reason here. So I'm guessing this is gonna move uh further west, but maybe not. Oh well. So a lot changes here. So we get a better look, a better pattern, and this is really far uh east. So typically this would lead to a ridge more over here, but I think they're just taking this into account, and the trough would end up here based on this. But I'm starting to think this forecast actually the PDO matters a lot more on the CFS than I previously thought, because that seems to be the only thing affecting this. Wherever the PDO goes, the cold stays right there. I mean, it's to be expected, but and then it kind of flatlines out. So this is what we'd call a positive AO look, with the cold staying really close up there in the North Pole, which doesn't allow for the cold to come down. So they have that all the way through November. I don't know if I buy it. So, and you guys know how I feel about the CFS showing warm, uh, right around that time frame. Later in the runs, they do that. So, yeah, February cold, but yeah, I don't know. The GEFS wants to keep the cold there, then it wants to take us back to kind of that early October pattern, which is the cold right about here, centered right about here, and then this warm in the southeast. Not as warm as it was. Like you'll see that the actual temperature is still 60s and 70s, and here it's just not super cold. So it's gonna be you're not gonna be sweating or anything, so you don't need to worry about that. Also, I honestly can't remember his name, but he was forecasting above average temperatures lasting well into January, February, delaying winter, and that March of 2019 will be the worst. Is this plausible? Well, last year it did happen that way, uh, partially for some areas, but January was kind of active too. But we got a lot of nor'easters there in March. I'm back. I love watching your channel. Thanks, weatherwise. School sucks. That's what I have tomorrow. Yeah, but it's important. Yeah, Bobby. I know the GFS is taking forever. Let's see. Like at this point, I'm wondering if there's issues with it. I mean, at this point, the R gem's going to come out first, but or the CMC could be coming out soon. No, it's like everything's delayed right now. Okay, sorry, I was looking at something, so I wasn't in the comments. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Bobby. The December and the January was cold, but a lot of storms. I mean, there was the one storm, I feel like. And by the way, I also was kind of taking a break from weather last winter a little bit. So that's why there wasn't any uploads or anything. But if you watched my videos or paid any attention, you'd know that. But yeah, Kyle, I haven't actually watched any model runs for since last winter. But last winter, the GFS came out at it used to come out at start coming out at 10:30. So I just didn't catch the memo that that changed at all. I know the NAMM always comes out way early, but U.S. Weather Central, I don't know. At 8 to 10 inches of wet snow back in March and had no powder power. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, Kyle, I definitely did not think hard enough about that. That makes sense. Well, it's okay. We'll be on at 11:32, so it does not matter. I feel really bad for anybody who's reviewing this though on YouTube. Well, they won't even be watching the video at this point anymore, unless they're trying to fall asleep or something. So, November 4 is daylight savings, I think. Yeah, yeah. I thought it was, you know, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, before I made this, I was like, I can't remember when the GFS usually comes out because I usually catch it when it's already like running. So I went back to one of my old streams and I was like, looked at the bottom right of my screen so I could see what time it was. But but yeah, that definitely wasn't something that I thought of, even though it was something that I should have for sure. And I keep going back and forth between 13,389 subs and 1,300, 13,390. So, who knows what all that's about? The RGEM I know, doesn't that come out an hour or 30 minutes after the GFS, I want to say? No, I don't think this will be a named Snowstorm. Not at all. I feel like they've definitely like lowered the threshold of what it takes to be considered a named snowstorm the Weather Channel has. Because I remember back in the day, like there'd be like 4 snowstorms by time it's October, you know, just a ton of like they definitely would have named the storm that hit like the Four Corner states. Definitely would have named the storm for Wisconsin. So yeah, I wonder what would have happened if we streamed during the YouTube outage. Still, the Wisconsin one, that I think I don't know. They used to name them for like mountain snowstorms that weren't even like too crazy. I feel like, but and here we go. The wait, the whole RGM and everything came out already. Are you kidding me? The whole RGM came out already. Well, the temperatures did. We're not too far behind. Again, this is, in my opinion, the best short range model. Take a look at what we've got so far. Okay, so looking a little faster. Yeah, looking a little faster or a little bit further west. Whoops, wrong one. I'm from Virginia. Yeah, it's definitely like faster, I want to say. Yeah, looks to be. Let's see how this compares. Oh, okay. We look a little further east. Maybe. Thanks, Red Dog. I appreciate it. We're gonna have to see once we get our precipitation type and everything a little bit closer, but probably bad for interior Maine because the RGEM was already pretty far east. It just didn't get that precipitation field all the way out here, so we're gonna have to see because the RGEM was already, like I said, very east on those snowfall totals, whereas I'm forecasting all the way out here, mostly due to just being realistic and taking history into account. That's historically what would usually happen. But the GFS also agrees with that type of solution. So we'll have to keep watching. Yeah, everything looks a little further east. As we wait, that's at 18 hours. I know this one freezes quite a bit, but all right. Definitely interesting to note. Seems to linger a little less right there. I want to see where it exits into the ocean because that's also crucial. Like I said, that Boston exit's really good though. Overall, looking a little bit better maybe. No, it would take like the uh that blizzard that hit like southern Pennsylvania, northern Virginia. It would take a storm of that scale, maybe something where we're talking about like 4 feet of snow. That would probably be what it would take for me to stay up for the European model. But let's be real, nobody has time for that. Nobody. Let's see if we're past 18 hours here. Okay. So we're a bit further. Yeah, and just what I was afraid of. With it being further east, we're looking at less snow here. Uh, they're becoming a lot more realistic, realizing probably won't be snow this far down. So this would be an all rain solution if it trends that far. We're gonna need to keep a close eye on this back band too, as that swings around. That could up the snowfall totals too, though. For free websites, I recommend tropicaltidbits.com. And for paid website, I recommend weathermodels.com. Yeah, not getting the swing we want to see here. That's only through 18 hours still, so. So yeah, maybe a bullseye in this area of like 3 to 4 inches here. That's what we're expecting to see from this run. And the GFS should be coming out in 6 minutes. Yeah, out to 18 hours we have this, but really that's going to be mixing issues. So yeah, in El Nino years, you start to see your nor'easters roll in late October, usually like this. So yeah, I did gain 2 subscribers. Ooh, there goes another one. See you, Storm 101. Good luck. Yeah, the snowfall total usually takes a while. Yeah, this is going to be a disappointing run. I can see it right now. It's going to show. It's going to try to show a bullseye in this area, but this will be most likely mixing issues where it's picking up the wrong signals here, so we can kind of discredit that area for the most part as far as accumulations go. Then so this area will end up being the true bullseye on this run, something like this, and it'll only be around 3 or 4 inches. So it'll be something like that according to this run. So far the RGEM is pretty disappointing, but it's a very far out model run for the RGEM still. So we're gonna see what happens when it comes in, but that's just a fair warning. Probably what we're going to be looking at here as far as snowfall accumulation goes, and as you can see with the 0.4 to 0.5 right there, that's your only chance at about 5 inches of snow in there. So looking at 3 to 4 inches in there. Gonna try to show more there maybe, but I go check. Yeah, so 3 to 4 inches in this area. Trying to show maybe more right here, but that's going to mostly be rain. White Mountains maybe going to be the bullseye. How surprising. But yeah, like I said, probably 3 to 4 inches in here now according to this model on this run. So pretty disappointing run compared to the 18Z, which showed this. But if you think about it, it's not really that much worse. It's always showed kind of that easterly track. So until we get something northerly, we're not going to be seeing a super snowy solution. As the GFS should be, yes, here we go. We're going to look at, oh, that's already what we're looking at. We're going to try to look at something where we can get the whole picture here. Maybe this one will be fine. Okay, so it looks the same. We're going to zoom back in here. As this continues to roll in, usually these upper air patterns are the first features that you'll end up seeing, or they come out the fastest. So we try to look for differences here as we can get our first little hints at what we're looking at. A little bit of a stronger jet. So here's our low pressure system. Then it transfers about here. And right now we have it heading out of right about here. So, north of Boston or maybe the Hampton Beach area of New Hampshire. That's where the low pressure system is. So we want to see something similar, if not a Boston exit, but still following that jet stream. I wonder what happened on the RGEM according to upper air. It just really didn't get that those widespread bands to come off of it. It's kind of just what went wrong with that one. Somebody might live in Maine. Probably not. I was just in Maine. Just in Maine. Okay. So far it looks a little bit south. Looks a tiny bit south. So kind of worried about that. As this keeps rolling in. For some reason, my computer's getting laggy all of a sudden. It's always such a slow process. When it actually affects me, like, I get so nervous. All right, we got another hour here. Yeah, everything looks a bit more south, it appears, so far. Usually right now it will spit out all the way to like hour 36 or something. Wait, we'll have to get out to hour 54, I think, before we see the end of the storm here. Actually, it might be a bit more north on second glance. It's just you three in the chat, but there's appears to be 32 viewers right now. So, silent viewers. Yeah, everything looks a little bit stronger here on the GFS. A little bit more north. Precip field looks a lot better. So, a promising start. Renette Lewis, we're waiting for the model run to come out. It lets out hour by hour, so it's slowly coming out. So it's kind of setting its own pace, and we have to just deal with it, kind of. Yeah, keep the chat rolling, guys. What state is everybody from? Just comment real quick. We'll take a poll. We were very curious if there's any Maine. Is there anybody from Vermont, New Hampshire, or Maine in the chat? Ooh, Montana, New Jersey, Delaware, Tennessee, Florida, Illinois, New York, Maine. Okay. Johnny Boy Entertainment. We have somebody that might be affected here. Pennsylvania, Nevada. Wow. Well, we have a pretty diverse group of people here from a lot of different states. Very cool, very cool. So far, wants to keep. That looks way north, though. Yeah, way north. We're gonna have to wait because I know the 18Z, it still its precipitation. It's really this lingering precipitation once the low pressure system uh just sits around here. The the snow just stays, and that's really what brought a lot of the accumulations. So yeah, it's really gonna explode on this next frame once we get it. Yeah, and right here we see our very, very heavy snow here, as I suspected. So all this precipitation, the heaviest of the precipitation, moves north, kind of away from the low pressure system, and we get a wider precipitation field here, a more broad precipitation field, and that leads to that heavier precipitation going onshore. Exactly what we look for. Classic. The rain snow line, or you mean where there will be snow, Johnny boy? Yeah, that rain snow line. Yeah, it is moving a little bit south. And to answer a previous question, this is how much will stick. This is positive snow depth change. So we see already 7 inches right here in Maine. So yeah, it looks like a lot of this will stick, and it's going to be very cold. So not a lot of melting issue. Close to 32, so that's close enough to start sticking pretty early on. Usually, when you have the accumulation issues, is when it's more like 37, upwards closer to 40 degrees with the upper air cold. That's usually when you see a lot of struggle to accumulate. I'm suspecting somebody's going to see at least 6 inches out of this. And here we go, as it's just blowing up. Maybe more than the last run. Yeah, so we're getting more snow according to this run. Right there, 14, 16. I think usually the rule of thumb is to eliminate uh, this green area, this extreme bullseye area, until it's a bit bigger, because it might just be an anomaly or something. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But really, the pink area is the biggest note here, that we're getting closer to 10 inches here on this, but looking like certainly 6 to 8 inches possible throughout this entire northern Maine area. Yeah, soon enough, we will all be getting this. Yeah, this is over exaggerated and to be expected. Random craft. We let me see here. Again, usually as a rule of thumb with these models, until they show some sort of consistency, like maybe the European starting to show the same snow totals, that's when I'd maybe be like, okay, so this is real deal here, when they both agree. So we'll need to keep an eye on that very closely, but this snow line is pretty sharp, and you can see that area is really where we're going to get snow in these areas, with some flakes falling south of there and some mixing issues. But we're going to have to keep an eye and see how much accumulation we get there. Probably none. White Mountain's going to get some accumulation as long as there's precipitation. So no worries about that, as well as the peaks of Vermont in there and the Adirondacks for sure. Catskills maybe getting a little bit. These are the areas we know we'll probably get something. But really, what I think you can shrink this 6 to 8 inch area, but somewhere in here definitely has a good chance of getting 6 to 8 inches. GFS wants it a little bit south. I want to see where the Euro goes before I make any conclusive answer to that. But definitely want to wait till the short range models to make another update, until the short range models are going to be really useful. Like 18Z or 0Z tomorrow is when the real forecast starts coming out. The updated one, or the final forecast, I guess. But but yeah, we'll have to see. Um, Looks like New Brunswick is going to get banned as well. Yeah. Again, I think you can split Maine in half here. If you're north of that line, you have a really good shot at some major accumulating snow. Yeah, I mean, not every storm. It really just depends how major it is. I think that a lot of areas will see 1 to 3 inches from the storm in this area. I think inside of this, there will be, like I said, areas that get under 3 inches. And I think that there will be a smaller area that sets up somewhere. This isn't even what I think. I'm just throwing it out there that it could be that area that you look at more of the bullseye 6 to 8 zone. And if the models start trending at more precipitation out of this, then we're looking at more like 8 to 10. We're going to need to keep an eye on it. It doesn't have a lot of potential to be that intense, but it's possible, but we'll have to see. It looks a lot more like a 6 to 8 event to me, but yeah. Anyway, we're going to end this stream, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's been really boring. I'm going to time these a lot better next time when I do them. I'll probably start them more around 11 so that I can, you know, keep my energy up right when we do the model portion of the video. Yeah, well, the GFS run is, we pretty much seen the, I think we've seen all the accumulating snow, have we? No, we haven't seen all the accumulating snow. Never mind. So once this GFS run is over, I will finish this up, wrap this up. But yeah, again, so 6 to 8 looks a lot more realistic for the bullseye area, even according to this. And this even agrees with everything I just said, so pat on the back for me. Oh, well, I just got 400. Random craft right as I saw that comment, so thanks for subscribing, guys. Yeah, I want to go hang out with my family a little bit before they go to bed, so that's why. Oh, and we've got these extra hours, so looks like not a lot more happens. Yeah, so this is our final amount here. Looks to keep it away from that very northern Maine area, so we'll have to see. Anyway, guys, till tomorrow, there will be a new upload as always, and probably not a live stream, but we'll have to see how the short range models are doing. Tomorrow would just be a short range model stream if I did it, and I'd probably do that around 10:30 or maybe even 11. That's when the RGEM comes out apparently. So anyway, guys, I'll see you later. Thanks for being so loyal and sticking with me even in this kind of boring stream. I really appreciate it. Anyway, again, look forward to that upload tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Great night.